And so today I'm going to be talking about this will be Dire Straits' very first album, their debut album. So before I get into this album, so Dire Straits are a British rock band who formed in London in 1977 by Mark Knopfler on lead vocals, lead guitarist, David Knopfler on rhythm guitar, backing vocals, John Isley, I believe that's how you pronounce it, on bass guitar, backing vocals, and Pick Withers on drums and percussion. So the style of music they play is roots rock, blues rock, pub rock, and pop rock. So today I'm going to be talking about this will be their debut album, which I found was a great album. So I'm going to talk about their debut album, the self-titled debut album, Dire Straits. So this was released on June 9th of 1978. So I found this was a great album. I know they had on this album here a big hit, definitely, which probably a lot of people know this one. Once I say it. So it starts off with Down to the Waterline, Water of Love, Setting Me Up, Six Blade Knife, Southbound Again, Sultans of Swing, the 6 minute and 14-second song In the Gallery, Wild West End, and the very last song is Lions. So here's the back of it. So the big hit that came off this album, I would have to say Sultans of Swing, which a lot of people probably would know that song. So I would have to say that probably was their first big hit, and then in the '80s they would release other big hits like Walk of Life. I believe that was another big hit that came out in the '80s. So Far Away, that would be another one that was another big hit of theirs. And speaking of that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe on my channel I do have, just a minute, vinyl. Yeah, I do have what is it, classic album, vinyl. If you type in classic vinyl album, I believe it's called on my channel. I can't remember, but I do have vinyl of it would be their fifth studio album, Brothers in Arms. I believe I do have that on my channel, on vinyl, that album on vinyl. But going back this album here, definitely a great album. For a debut album, they said Sultans of Swing would be their hit single off this album, which reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and number 8 on the UK singles chart. And it also said the album reached the top of the album charts in Germany, Australia, and France, and number 2 in the United States, and number 5 in United Kingdom. So that song there, very popular. Like I said, and is off their first album. Like how many bands, I should say, or artists for that matter, when they have their first album out, like they have a big hit. Not many that I can think of that some, not many, that at least had like a big hit. Usually it takes about a couple albums in until they have at least a big hit, or something like that. But definitely a great album. Let me show you the inside. Let me show you the inside of it. But great album. I really liked it because I found with this album here, it had that, some of the songs, it had that kind of style of like, because it was like blues, mostly like blues rock album. Some of the songs you could tell it was like that blues style to some of the songs. It also said pub rock. Never heard. I don't think I heard of that before, but I'm not quite sure what that is. Not quite sure exactly what that is. Okay, so it says here. So that pub rock, pub rock, is a submerge of rock music that emerged in the early to mid 70s in the United Kingdom. Okay, so that's what that means. I did not know that. Well, now I know. Interesting. That came from in the United Kingdom. Okay, now I know. Did not know that. Interesting. So yeah, here's the inside. The back of it. But great album. I really enjoyed it. Definitely, you're a fan of this band. Definitely this great album. Definitely to check out. Like I said, they did have that big hit, Sultans of Swing. Very popular song. Which probably if people know this band, they probably obviously heard that song before. But great album. Mm-hmm. Definitely great album. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it like not long ago. But yeah, definitely a great album. Go through the songs again. So it starts off with Down to the Waterline, Water of Love, Setting Me Up, Six Laid Knife, 2 minute and 57 second song, Southbound Again, Sultans of Swing, the 6 minute and 14 second song, In the Gallery, Wild West End, and the very last song is Lions. So here's the back of it. But yeah, great album. Like I said, they would release, like I said, other songs like in the 80s, like So Far Away. I believe that came out sometime in the 80s. So that became another big hit in the 80s. And Walk of Life would be another, like I said, another big hit of theirs. Which Money for Nothing would be another one that came out in the 80s. So Far Away, like later on, like as in the 80s, that would become a very big hit. Money for Nothing, another one in the 80s. It was like 85, as well as So Far Away. Walk of Life would be another one. Another popular song. So over the years, they would release, like I know those off that album, like I said, that I have on vinyl. That I do have on vinyl, which is Brothers in Arms. That would be, but they didn't release many albums. They released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They released 6 albums. From 1978 till 1991, there was 6 studio albums. So they didn't release many albums. So really a short period, right? Like well, 78 till 91, so that's 10, 12, 13 years they didn't release many albums, but the main thing was, but they released a lot of big hits. So I look at it that way. A lot of big hits. So great album. I really enjoyed this album. So back. So let me know what you think down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching, and have a good day, and bye. Okay.